Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Michaela and I'm ready to make with you my bestseller of 2024 so far, Bryanna Underwire top. So I've got here all my pieces cut. I've got my main piece, I've got my linings, and I've got my sides. In the pattern original, I've made very thick straps. As you know, I've got a small business, a swimwear business, and my clients didn't like very much the big straps to tie around the back. So on this time, I'm going to make it as a small straps. Nevertheless, I will keep the two options available. I've got here my underwires. I've got me here my underwire channel. This is a size S, so I will be using a cup B underwire. A good way to know a cup B will fit you. You should just take the underwire and slightly bring the lining a little bit closer together. Leave a little space from the top and just go just like that and see if it fits your underwire. It will definitely fit me. I have no doubts at all. So I will be explaining you the next steps. This will be my bridge. The bridge, I've cut it in fold. I will be using a fabric, a non-stretchy fabric. I will show you a little bit later. I'll put this aside. So for the side bands, I will place the lining on top of the lycra on top of the lining, since in this case I'm using the same fabric for lining. So I'll be placing just the lycra on top of each other. I'm going to pin just like this. And then I'm going first to do a basting stitch, and then I'm going to serge it, and I will be adding elastic in the same time here and here. So up and down I will be adding elastic. So this would be my side band. And as for my main pieces, yes, let me check. Yes, here. So I'm having this, this is a ruffler foot. It's for a normal sew machine. I'm using it for my singer. So yeah, it's a lifesaver practically. I use it very often, and if you don't have, I will be showing you how to do it without it. So I will be placing it, and I will be ruching these sides. I will leave the ends of this part like that, and I realized that I can totally mark it on the paper pattern. So later I will be doing this. So I'll be ruching these sides. So these sides should be ruched until you be fitting the smaller obviously the smaller part, the lining. But sorry, before I forget, because now I realized, first I will be placing the lining on top of my, because if I ruche it first it will be quite difficult to match it afterwards, these two parts together. So I'm placing the lining on top of my lycra. So this way, just like that. Okay. And yes, I realized I forgot to cut my thicker strap, which I will be putting it on the side about I would say 2-3 centimeters away. I'll be doing this, and I'll make sure that I will show it to you, because I really like the thick strap. I really like it. So yes, I will do the thick strap, and then I will be introducing it in this part. I will be showing you all the steps. So let me just go ahead and cut my thick straps, and then I'll come back and we'll continue. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut my straps. As I didn't have much fabric left of the other one, I just simply use another fabric. Since this is a tester for me, it's really not a problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pin. So I folded it in two, and I will pin right sides together. Then I'm going to do a basting stitch or directly serge it or a zigzag stitch. So I'll be doing this for the both sides. And actually this will be my very first step, since the straps I will be needing them to introduce them directly in the top. Just like that. All right, so I'll go ahead immediately. I will be doing this since I actually need the straps right away. I had to initially cut my my threads because my cat, she wants to chew my threads, so I have to cut them always. So later I'll have to reconnect. So sorry. So since my fabric is not very slippery, I can always go ahead and just zigzag stitch or serge it. In case your fabric it is more slippery, then you should definitely do a basting stitch. I will be showing it to you in a minute once I'm connecting again my threads on my serger. Like, sorry to bother you. Okay, so I'll be doing the next one after because I just want to continue. I'm having here a loop turner, which is really a lifesaver when it comes to turning straps on the right sides of the fabric. Sorry, I was just checking if I pressed record. Okay, so I've turned my strap on the right side, and actually first thing what I'm going to do, it will be it would be doing a straight stitch like that in the center. I'll be choosing this side. Doing a straight stitch like that in the center of my fabric. Like I will be doing, it is actually just a basting stitch because I want to secure my two parts of my fabric so they are not slippery, so they are not moving around. And like I told you before, I've got here a front piece and I've lost my other ones. Pushed all my fabrics around. Yeah, just a second. Okay, so I'm so sorry. I realized I haven't pressed records on my camera, so I'll be doing this step again. So yes, I'll be first adding to my main piece the shoulder strap, and I will be doing a straight stitch over, and I left 2 centimeters to the side from the end, yes, like here. And now I'm going to place over my lining side and I'm going to pin and do a basting stitch after. So I'm pinning it just like this. Okay, that will be the pinning, and I will be making sure that I'm starting matching very good my fabrics together. And the same, I'll be doing here a basting stitch. Okay. So as you know, I like to make small cuts in my basting stitch, so it allows to give more stretch to the fabric, which obviously being a lycra fabric, you need a little stretch. So I'm just doing this little cuts, and next I'm going to my serge machine, and I will be adding elastic like that. I place it, and I'm adding the elastic as well now. I cut it a little before the stitch because I don't want that it's too bulky at the side seams. So now I'll be turning it on the other side. I'll be trimming these little stray threads. Okay, and now you're having one side of the top. I'm having here the other side of the top, which I actually started ruching it whilst I was recording, but I thought I was recording, so I'm not. And yes, I will be, so I start hand ruching it, yes, and I will be doing another straight stitch over to show you, because I really wanted to show you how I'm hand ruching it. So I do a straight stitch over, okay. I'll be making a knot to the to this end, so the threads doesn't come on loose, right? And then here I separate the two threads, and I'm pulling one and I'm sliding it up. So it's not a quick process, yes. Like I said, if you have a ruching foot, it's a little bit more easier, this process, because it offers really like practically perfect ruffles, yeah, which they won't move. So I've tried to ruche as much as I can, and now I'm going to check if it's matching with my lining, because obviously this is the meaning to match in the end with my lining. And the lining, I will not connect it just like that. I leave a tiny small space here, right? So I'll be trying to pin it already. I'm trying to pin it. So my lining now, you see it's a little longer, so I will release a little bit the ruching, tiny bit. I'll be releasing it and do another check. You can if you have these little pins, they're so useful, like very useful. You place them like that, and then I'm going to check it one more time. How is the lining matching my lycra? And like I said, I don't make a big opening. I leave the opening a little, like the opening like that. And the same, you see here, my lining is a little longer than my ruching. So I'm going to release a little bit of the ruching. I'm gonna go ahead and make it a little closer. So like I said, it's not a quick it's not practically a quick process, because you have to go very slow, since normally the ruching and the attaching of the lining, it's done by a special machine. Like I have a ruffler with my industrial machine, but I want to offer you the chance to do this top just having a normal sew machine, without having an industrial sew machine with special attachments. So I think I'm pretty much getting over there. So I'm going to pin this bit as well. And at the same time, I want to check whether my ruffling it's more or less similar in both my ways. Yes, both, as I mean the same ruffled up and down. And it looks really good. I'm pleased. I like it. So now the next step would be a basting stitch over your ruffling. So I think I sewed the stitch a little closer to the edge, right? Normally you can give a little more space, but I'm fine. So I'll be going it really slow over, like that. And I will be using my little tool to make sure that I'm not gathering fabric just like that underneath, you see, which is totally possible. So I'm going slow. I hope I'm not coming too close. I'm going slow. And here I will lift my foot and I will be trying to start the other side. Oh, but it's actually more tricky, because I usually go in a circle. Okay. I'll be going in a circle this time as well. Or no, I changed my mind, because I like to sew on this side to make sure that I see good the fabric. So I'm separating my ruching at first before starting, and then I place it under. And then the same, I'm using my little tool to make sure that the ruching it's coming out nicely. apologize here. I've left a little space. So I'm going to cut it and just undo tiny bit here, because you see my ruching came a little loose. So I'm going to go back. I realized as I was sewing it, I'm going to go back, and so that my ruching is not coming loose. I'll do a little knot over here. Okay, and then I'm going to continue my stitch over. Okay. You'll be having quite a lot of threads, but you can, I recommend them to trim them after you'll be doing the final part of adding the underwire and everything, since you don't want anything to come loose right now, as you want to keep the ruching as much as you can. And the next step actually in this moment will be, I went ahead and I've cut a piece on my fabric, a non-stretchy bit, and I'm going to do a straight stitch over this. I just used whatever piece of fabric I had on hand, I'm honest. It was just simply easier. But I recommend you to use obviously a similar color. So I'll be doing this little straight stitch over, just like this. All right, so now I'm going to do, this is my bridge. I'm going to prepare already my bridge, and I will be folding it in two. And since there's not much fabric, I'll just go ahead and I'll do I will serge it over like this, and then I will be turning it on the right side of my main fabric, obviously, and I will be doing another straight stitch over, because I want to secure very well my two sides of my fabric. Yeah. Okay, that's one. And that's two. Okay, so my bridge is ready to be attached, and I'm going ahead and I will be pinning a side band, and I will be showing you how I attach it. All right, so I've prepared my side band stitch. As I said, I pinned, I did a basting stitch, and then I serged it, adding elastic in the same time. And now I will be turning it on the right side of the fabric. I'm just checking if my camera is recording. So I'm turning it on the right side of the fabric. And I'm going to do a straight stitch over this part. So I'm securing my fabrics together so they don't move when I'm stitching it to the cup of my top. I will be trimming this little piece, and I'm just checking where is my elastic. Yeah, this is definitely my elastic side. So I'll be adding it, this piece, I'll be adding it to my cup. Sorry, I'll put this away. You can see better. This you can see with the little hole is the lining, and this is my my main side of the fabric. And the same on the bridge, I've got the same side. So I'll be taking this as my main side. I will put right sides together, and I will be matching it like that over. If your sewing machine is struggling to go over the bigger parts, I recommend you to use a hump jumper, it's called. My sewing machine usually not. Let's check it out. No, doesn't have a lot of problems, but I know that some sewing machines do. So yeah, so I've added my breech right side, and now I'll be adding my side. Sorry, I saw a little glitter. Which I'll be starting it as well from the top, and I'll be pinning it first. It's a little hard to see where's the top because of the ruching, but you just have to go feeling it with your finger, and obviously not try at all to pull the fabric. Yes, so I'm starting it over here. Okay, so this was my side band piece. As I showed you, they are on the main side, on the lycra side, and now I'll be adding my underwire the same in the same way. So what I will be doing, I will be sewing as close as I can on this bit, yeah, and I try to go over this stitch. Very important, because otherwise you'll be seeing the stitches. So I start somewhere here. All right, so as you see, I'm always moving a little bit to the side my underwire channel, so I'm checking it whether I'm sewing it over my initial stitch, which is very important, so I don't get like stitches visual. All right, so this was my first side of the underwire. Okay, so like I said, I've sewn already my first side of the underwire, and what I'm going to do now, actually, I'm going to go ahead and cut all these loose threads, because now if I sewn already this, I'm not afraid that it's gonna come loose. So yes, you have to take your time to cut all the loose threads which you'll have around, because you don't want them to be poking through your underwire channel. Just like this. Okay, and next what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to trim this extra fabric, because I don't want that it's like really bulky under my underwire thread. You will have to go very slow and to be very careful that you're not trimming into your actual stitch. Next, I'm going to turn, you see this is my lining side, so I'm going to turn now this underwire bit. I'm going to turn it like this, and I will be doing a parallel stitch all over like this. And for this, I actually recommend you to use some small clips, as you want your fabric to stay in its way, so it doesn't so it's not moving. I don't know if I'm expressing myself. So you have to, because moving it will affect your ruching. So I prefer to just folding it in like this. So I'm maintaining the direction of my ruching, obviously. Okay, so now this is actually a very important step, yes, because you will have to slightly pull with your hands the the fabric, but don't over pull it, because you don't want that it's like overstretched. So the same, you see now my sew machine is causing me a little bit of an issue with the foot, so I'm going to use this hamper. So I'm actually just placing it, I hope you see it, I'm just placing it here like that underneath. So I'm raising the level of my presser foot, and then I just go ahead like I just did. Yeah, so you see with my finger I'm pulling the fabric, and I'm making sure that the ruching stays towards its direction. And like I said, it's so important that you try to sew as close as you can to the edge of your underwire channel, because you will have to introduce your underwire inside afterwards, so it needs to fit. So I did a parallel stitch, and this is my other side, and look how beautiful it's the fabric maintained, and here as well. looks really nice. So this obviously will help that the ruching stays really good. I'm going to trim this tiny bit, and I'm going to go ahead and insert my underwire to test it out to see whether it's long enough. So you see I have here, it's colored, it's a lilac, so I'm introducing it. This would be in the center, so I introduce it through this side, sorry, through the lilac side, because it will end up getting into the center. So I go ahead, introduce it, and what I'm going to do first, I'm going to secure my ends. So I'm choosing actually a little bit of a smaller stitch. So I secure this end. Like this. You see the color thread, it's very similar to my main fabric. I choose another one so you can see it good. So now I go ahead and I push it a little more, almost towards the end, and I go and I secure on the other side as well. So the same, I'm going to do a little straight stitch over. I obviously recommend you to always use threads similar to your underwire. I wanted to use a different thread so you can actually see where my stitch is going. All right. And look at this beautiful ruching. Like, I'm so happy. It looks so beautiful. You will see you have a little place for your underwire to wiggle, yeah, so it doesn't have to be poking it into the end, so it has to have like a little tiny bit of space wiggling. And you see I've left exactly 1 centimeter from my lining, yeah, the space in between. Now I will be going ahead and I'm doing the same steps on the other side. And I'll be finishing it with adding a bra clasp, which I've been using it in a lot of tops. Like, it's practically introducing it inside like that, and do a straight stitch, and the shoulder strap the same. I will do a straight stitch. I will be also marking it on my pattern, on my paper pattern, so I'll be doing it a straight stitch over here, so then you have it secure. Since this top is not reversible, you cannot do it reversible. It doesn't matter, you don't need to conceal the seam. You can just do a straight stitch, and there you have it. I'll be showing you the final result when I have it. I'm so happy the way it's looking. I'm really excited about it. So here is my final result of Bryanna Underwire top, and it's so beautiful. I can't wait to take some photos with my models. And yeah, as you can see, I've added a bra clasp like I told you. It looks absolutely beautiful. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy sewing!